Welcome to Modern Life. What a wonderful idea. I mean, how did it all come about for you to develop something like this?
How did it all come about is, as youth managers, as you said in your insert, that it was founded by young people who are developing in our careers. At high school as well, we occupied various leadership positions, but there wasn't proper guidance and support provided for us to be able to unleash our leadership skills and make positive changes within our schools. So it is on that basis that Youth Managers was founded, so that we identify high potential leaders at high school. We channel that potential so that they could be agents of change within their schools.
Lovely. So we've got now the Youth Leadership Seminar.
Correct.
Talk me through this. How does it actually work?
The Youth Leadership Seminar is in partnership with KPMG South Africa, as well as Shanduka, which are our primary partners. Now, the Youth Leadership Seminar, we will have 100 young leaders from our partner schools, Mabutho High School and Phumula Gardens High School. Now, we work with a cluster of leaders from those schools. We mentor them, we provide leadership training, we capacitate them to be leaders of change within their schools. Now, in addition to that, we'll also have 20% of the leaders that will be there will be coming from affluent schools in Johannesburg, because we are trying to foster social integration. So that at least our schools can interact across racial lines and across social divides. Yeah. So that's how the concept came about. Now, on the day, KPMG will make available 50 professionals who will coach, inspire, and motivate these young leaders. And throughout the day, we will then have a very intense leadership program which will be targeted to these young leaders who have a very huge task at their schools in terms of implementing certain initiatives that are aimed at addressing issues that are threatening to cripple their schools and also their personal lives. But also, in addition, we also have executives, high-level executives, both from the public and the private sector, will also be there on the day. And it will be a very intense leadership program, but that is solely targeted at young leaders.
So what are some of those key issues you're talking about that is affecting the youth at this point?
On the 16th of October 2013, we converged at Galaga Estate, where we had a Youth Leadership Summit. And at that summit, we had about 210 young leaders who decided that for this year until the next Leadership Summit, which will happen this year in October, they want to be focusing on teenage pregnancy, drug abuse, and bullying at their schools. Yeah. Now, as youth managers, we provide support to these leaders, especially at our partner schools, Phumula Gardens and Mshuka, to come up with initiatives that they will implement, but to address the issues that I have just mentioned.
Wonderful. Some of the people you're saying you've got some very high level, whether from corporate or in the professional world, that are going to be speaking.
Correct.
Who are we looking at? The likes of who?
No, we've got very esteemed leaders of our nation who are also going to be part of the leadership seminar at KPMG. Besides the executives from the corporate and the private sector, we have the Minister of Public Enterprises, Mr. Malusi Gigaba, who is expected to also deliver an address at the seminar, and also expecting the Chairman of Shanduka Foundation, since they are our partners, to also address the young leaders. The Chairman of KPMG South Africa as well will also be there to deliver a message of transformational leadership to these young leaders.
Sure, that's an amazing company to be in for these youngsters. Absolutely.
Precisely.
I mean, this is where you find your role models in life. Can anyone attend the seminar, or are they closed?
They are actually closed, because it's more targeted to these young leaders.
Right.
And we are bringing all these other role players, the KPMG professionals as well as the executives, just to add on to the leadership message that will be driving on the day. But what we are trying to say as youth managers is that other people in other areas of the country where we are not able to get to, they can start similar concept, so that the message of leadership in this country becomes very critical. This leadership development is very important because it develops leaders that will shape the future of this country. Yeah. These are the leaders that will lead us one day in various spheres of influence within our country.
Yeah, and no doubt other schools will be included in the next seminar. This is something that will be ongoing?
Correct. This is something that is ongoing. We've got a leadership program that we are rolling out to our partner schools. But as I have indicated, that at the Leadership Summit in October, that's where we get more schools involved.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much,
congratulations on doing what you're doing for the youth, because this is, I think we need more organizations like this, and just being able to interact with those members of South African society that have really made it, and what have they done to succeed, and to pass that information on to the youth. Well, speaking to us was the chairman of the Youth Mangers Foundation, Mabutho Mthembu, and giving us an insight on the upcoming Leadership Summit. That's the Youth Leadership Seminar.